Welcome to this developer commentary video for RoboBar VR. This video is going to work a little bit differently to my other developer commentaries, as I'm not able to play the game live while I discuss the gameplay. So I'm going to use the footage that I did for my demonstration video and kind of just discuss the choices and techniques as the video goes on. So starting the game, you can see that we already have an order and we have to fill up the glass with some pineapple juice. So we find that in the fridge. The way the glass works is that there is basically a hidden Text Mesh Pro element in Unity, which when the glass has some contents in, which is detected by when the particles collide, because the particles will all have collision enabled on them, and when the particles collide with the glass, they will simply tell the glass what is going inside. So in this case it's pineapple juice. Each glass has a maximum of 250 mils thereabouts, and all you have to do essentially for this game is serve customers from what they ask. So what we can see now is, you may notice that the characters are very similar to Job Simulator. We got the inspiration from them for the design of the graphics, and customers will talk to you through kind of their monitors. So that's simply just a Text Mesh Pro with a coroutine that tells the code to wait every so often before sending the next letter, so it looks like they're typing to you but quite fast. We found that to be a really good way of communicating with the player what the customer wants without having to have voices or dialogue or anything like that. So in order to add that, we simply added a text element onto the monitors of the customers, and they will choose from an array of different responses. So if you give a good drink, like I did then, it will choose a message to say from about 5 different pre-typed responses, and it will be random every single time. The same way that when a customer first greets you, they will choose 3 different greetings. So they'll say firstly, hello, good morning, good day to you. Then they'll make a random comment about the establishment or about the day, and then they'll ask you what they would like to order. And I think there's about 50 different combinations of phrases they could say. So you might see a few different ones in this video. And then once you serve the customer, the glass will disappear unless you have it in your hand, because SteamVR works in very different ways to how we expected. So this customer is saying, this place looks amazing, I'm going to try a pina colada, and then the order will come up on the screen. So you can see how long it's taken, oh sorry, pineapple juice, not pina colada, and then I will just simply need to pour the pineapple juice into the glass. We can see how much is in there, and if I just serve them the bare minimum, so I'm going to put the lime on top there, and then serve it to them. If I serve them the bare minimum, so I do give them the drink, they'll take it, but they will complain and won't be very happy, so they said they're making a formal complaint. Then the order goes off the screen, the customer leaves, and then we get told again what we'd like. So in this case, they'd like 155 ml of white rum. And the closer you are to the actual measurements of everything, the higher score you get. So you don't actually see your score as a percentage. I think at the end you might. But they will give a response based on what threshold your store meets. So if your score is between 0 and 25, they won't be very happy with you at all. If your score is between 50 and 75, or 25 and 50, they'll be okay, but they'll still not be very happy. 50 and 75, they'll be quite happy, and then 75 to 100, they'll be overwhelmed and very happy. So for example, I hope this is not your specialty, this is different to what I expected. That's them saying, you did what I asked, but it wasn't very close to how it should be, and it probably tasted very bad. And if you serve a customer the wrong drink 3 times in a row, or if you throw something at them, they'll complain. So now you can see that I'm throwing things at his screen. He won't leave because you're attacking him, he'll just complain at you. This part of the video is showing that if you throw something to the ground strong enough, so if the rigid body has enough velocity, it will instead smash onto the ground, and anytime an item smashes on the ground, it will respawn. Similarly, if you throw an item out of the bar but it doesn't smash, it will still respawn, because there are hidden triggers everywhere outside of this bar that you can't see. So here we're just giving him the wrong drink until he leaves. So the next time I believe he will leave, because we've given him the wrong drink 3 times, and any time between 3 and 6 they will get tired and they'll just walk out, and then he'll leave. The customers are infinite, the game is infinite, there is no main menu, there is no ending. It was just a 1-term module, so we had about, I'd say, 1 month at max, maybe 3 weeks to make this game. And I'm very happy with how it came out in the end. So now I'm trying to show off the jukebox, because we wanted to make this world as realistic as possible. So if you attack the jukebox 3 times, he will just stop playing music in the end. He will say, I've had enough, you're attacking me, you don't deserve my music, and then he'll stop. So he says adios, and then the music just turns off, and now you can't turn it back on for the entire game. I was trying to show here that you could also attack the pool balls on the table, because they also have collision enabled. They have their own physics attached, but I didn't manage to hit the first time, so I gave up. But you can attack the balls. We tried to make this environment as realistic as possible. What you can see here is that I'm pouring some juice out of the glass, because if you tilt the glass more than 90 degrees, it will start to release the contents from the glass. There is no particle effects for that, so you can see from the can there's particles when they collide. They will go into the glass. Each drink, or each, I suppose, ingredient, has its own particle system. Here's where I'm showing off that cans can't smash, because it's a can, it's not a glass, so it will never smash. And I was trying to show off here the glass mechanics, because we had some glass in the doors, so you couldn't pull the cans through the doors, but for some reason that wasn't working. But every particle has its own color, and what we do is we take a blend of those colors. So the more drinks you add, or the more ingredients you add to a drink, the different the color will be, depending on what drinks. You can also see that in the background, all of these people have different emojis as faces that they're just kind of cycling through. So we just have some giant stringed array of different emojis that I took from some website that will just cycle over time, just to give a little bit more, so they don't just have an empty screen of nothing. So this guy wanted some water, so we're going to add 250 ml of water from the tap, and then he wanted some ice with that as well. The ice mechanics are taken and inspired from Bartender VR, which is a game also made in Unity, available on Steam, where you have to scoop the ice up. One of the most difficult challenges for this was making the ice stay in the scoop, so in the end I just moved the glass over, because the ice has its own physics as well, so it can move around, but it's incredibly slippery and it will not stay in the scoop at all. That guy really liked the water we gave him. The ice must have been great. Fantastic weather today, and then we're just looking around the bar. It's a very small scene. You can move around. This has 6 degrees of freedom, which means it has head rotation, and it also has movement, so you can see that I'm bending down to pick up that glass. And you can move around. I had a very limited play area when I played this game, so I wasn't able to utilize the moving, so I was using teleportation, which is something else that we added as well. So everyone is requesting quite simple drinks here. So this guy's telling us it's his birthday. That's again just a random string taken from the array of strings. This game was made in Unity using SteamVR. We didn't use the there's an alternate VR extension which works very well with SteamVR. I can't remember the name quite at this time, but we didn't use any other extension other than SteamVR with Unity, and we used a lot of the SteamVR kind of template code to get things working. So the player character that we're controlling and their hands as well, which kind of look like Deadpool gloves, are all taken from the default SteamVR, because we just didn't have time to get everything that we wanted for this game. There was a lot that we did want to implement, but we just simply didn't have time to do it. But I'm still extremely proud of the results, and if we look outside, you can see that all of the characters do actually leave. So that guy's left, and once he goes out of bounds from the camera, he will simply despawn, and then a new character will spawn in and join the queue. So for the queue to work, we have waypoints in every single position that the characters are currently queuing in, and once a waypoint becomes available, so for example, say a character moves to the next waypoint, then their waypoint will become available, so everyone will shuffle along to the next waypoint, and that's how we did the queue system. So you will never have a queue that's out the door, but you'll likely always have a queue that's completely full, because people will just spawn very, very quickly. I believe it's between 30 and 60 seconds that they will spawn, so that guy's gonna leave. And that's essentially all there is to this game. A very short video for this time. If you have any questions, as always, do feel free to let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.